In a quiet room bathed in the silver glow of the moon, a young boy named Zayn slept soundly. Moonlight streamed through the window, creating a magical spotlight on a shelf filled with treasures. Among them stood Captain Valiant, a brave toy soldier, and his fluffy companion, Barnaby the bear, both frozen in their daytime poses. As the world outside held its breath, a tiny sparkle of starlight drifted into the room and danced upon the shelf. In that instant, magic stirred. Captain Valiant snapped into a sharp salute, his painted eyes gleaming with purpose. Beside him, Barnaby the bear gave a happy little wiggle, his button eyes blinking in the soft light. The night's adventure was about to begin. With a silent understanding, Captain Valiant raised his gleaming toy sword and pointed it decisively toward the floor below. Their mission, a grand and daring quest, was clear. They were to journey across the vast and treacherous carpet sea, an expanse of plush blue fibers that stretched from one end of the room to the other. Their destination was the fabled Mountain of Books, a towering stack of colorful stories and tales that stood silhouetted against the far wall. They had until the first light of dawn to complete their expedition and return to their post, a secret they shared only with the moon. The two intrepid friends commenced their journey. To their diminutive size, the thick carpet fibers towered over them like a dense, enchanted forest. Each tuft of yarn was a tree. They paused for a moment, taking in the grand scale of their world, knowing a single misstep could create a clatter that would echo through the silent room. Reaching a gap between two rugs, a chasm to their eyes, they discovered a toy train track perfectly placed to serve as a bridge, and they scurried across the canyon to the other side. At long last, they stood at the base of the Mountain of Books. The climb was wobbly and perilous. As they scaled the glossy covers and sharp paper edges, with a final heave, Captain Valiant pulled Barnaby onto the summit, a hardback copy of Fairy Tales for Dreamers. From this triumphant vantage point, they gazed out upon the entire room, which now lay before them as a magical kingdom under the silvery moonlight. The sleeping world was their own, a silent, sprawling landscape of adventure and shared secrets, and the sound of early morning birdsong drifted through the window. With practiced speed and precision, navigating the familiar obstacles with newfound confidence, they scrambled back up the table leg and, with moments to spare, resumed their exact positions on the shelf. They froze into stillness, becoming simple toys once more. Just as Zayn began to stir in his bed, Zayn sat up and let out a big morning yawn. Stretching his arms toward the ceiling, he glanced around his room. He saw a brave soldier and a fluffy bear. But if one were to look very, very closely, one might see a faint, magical glint still lingering in their eyes. The silent, shimmering secret of their midnight parade